Today's show is a rerun of a live stream recorded on May 24th, 2025. If you have already watched it, keep watching. Views.
Welcome to the Under the Table Podcast Live Edition, TK. Second
Happy to
episode
be here.
ever. Thank you.
Happy to be here.
Thank you for being here. And what a pleasure it is to have you once again.
Well, Darryl,
leading realtor on
Under the Table Podcast. Okay, we started this podcast for two really good reasons. All right,
two good reasons,
two really good reasons. The first one is I can't remember what it was,
but it was really good.
But it was really good. And the second one was because we're having fun doing it. And the second, we're not having fun, Darryl. Let's say it's over.
Are we talking about
Burn the bridges?
Way back in the day, like at the beginning? Is that what we're talking about?
No, I'm talking about now. I'm just talking about in general.
You're just talking about in general. So hold on a second.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Are you talking about that we changed the name of the show recently for fun because it's fun and we like to have fun?
No, I'm not even talking about the name of the show. Where did the name of the show come from? We're just Under the Table Podcast. We've been around. Listen, anybody listening today for the first time, coming in from anywhere in the world really now, they don't know us as the Canadian Real Estate Show. They don't know us as the Toronto Real Estate Show. They just know us as Under the Table, and we've been around.
We've been around. We've been around the block.
We've been talking about stuff that we barely understand for a long time.
That's right. And somehow people stick through it, and a lot of them actually keep coming back. So that's kind of cool. Yep. Welcome, everybody that's here live. Sorry, I'm so phlegmy. We are live for absolutely no reason other than the fact that I was just way too busy to record at the normal time. And for some reason...
And doing it live tomorrow is just not that convenient.
Not convenient tomorrow morning. But I mean, hey, 5 o'clock on a Saturday, who's doing anything else but watching this goddamn show, TK?
Clearly nobody.
Clearly nobody.
Okay. Clearly we don't have anything better to do on a Saturday.
What
a nice Saturday it is.
Sure.
I mean, it's a little sunny, a little bit. It was a little rainy at one point. Things are moving out there. The birds are chirping. The bees are buzzing. I love it.
Look at this. TK is going to wind up like Rob Ford in some basement on crack, overly animated in front of a bunch of immigrants. What the fuck does that mean?
Anybody named Shit Wrangler must know what he's talking about, right? So
I would definitely take it to heart from Shit Wrangler, right?
I mean, absolutely.
It's a problem with the lives.
And listen, Rob Ford, rest in peace, okay? Jesus. Our brother. He was the man with the plan. If he was the premier of the province instead of Dougie, he would have got that greenbelt passed.
Oh,
we wouldn't have a greenbelt anymore. Let's just say that, and we'd have a whole heck of a lot of housing.
That greenbelt would be on fire if he was still around.
We'd have a whole lot of housing if Robbie ended up winning that provincial election later on. But what's going on with you? So you had some stuff going on this week, Darryl. You were putting out some fires. You were out there with your helmet on, spraying the hose.
I had a horrible week from some perspectives and a wonderful week from some perspectives, but so busy and just like roller coaster ride of emotions. And you know me. I mean, I tend to, whatever's happening around me tends to set my mood. So if like something bad just happened, I'm like a basket case freaking out. And if something good just happened, I'm like on top of the moon, Like,
you're booking vacations. You're buying cars. Did we get the furniture store closed?
Oh, what a day today. You want to hear a story? Holy shit. Do you want to hear? So I don't know if this has to be indicative of the economy right now. And maybe it's not, but okay. So, I mean, people that have been following us know that I've been trying to close my father-in-law's store for months, right? And we basically have had it closed for a little while, but there was a little bit of stuff left over. And so, we have the lease still for a little while, and we're just kind of cruising and taking my time to deal with the last few things, right? Maybe working on some of my own stuff for a few weeks, right? And what happens? Yesterday morning, out of the blue, the landlord calls me. Okay, the landlord calls me and says, "I know it's short notice, but we found somebody to take over the lease or start a new lease a month early. So you can get out of the last month of rent, but you got to be out by the 30th or the 31st, whatever month this is. What do we got? 31 days this month? You got to be out by before the 1st, okay? Whatever the date is. And I'm like, oh, like this is what I need right now, right? Like I got to do this. So my wife puts a bunch of Facebook marketplace posts up, okay? And I've had all this stuff up on Facebook for weeks, right? Nobody's responding, nothing.
Selling.
$200 for $400. Funny enough, these sofas were selling. $200, nobody's buying anymore. Now she puts like, I don't know, 6-7 listings for free furniture between 12 and 3 today on Saturday. And thousands and thousands of messages are just pouring in. Like she can't even use her phone because it's just getting bombarded with people going, is this still available? Is this still available? Like, can you save this for me?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because we posted, you know, it's like first come, first serve, bring your own truck. Nobody's helping.
Don't message me.
Right?
Everything's available until it's not. Come and get it.
Right? First come, first serve, come and get it. And so she's like answering people for a while and then she just gives up. And then people are like, we're here and nobody's here. And we're like, nobody reads, right? People wanted to get first dibs so badly. It was crazy. So I get there. I figure, you know what? We call it for 12 today. I'm going to get there at 10 o'clock. I was meeting one person that we made arrangements with to take a couple of things. And I roll in there and there's a fucking lineup of people and there's U-Hauls all at the back and people are banging on the doors. And I'm like, holy shit, like this is crazy. People literally at 10 a.m. were lining up. And I let a couple people in and people were nice. They're just waiting there quietly, like peeking in, trying to see, like, are they taking all the good stuff? What's going on in there? I can't see what's going on. People were going fucking crazy.
Free stuff is like, people get greedy. I did some free stuff. I'll tell you after. Keep going.
Oh my God.
So what happened?
So just like, you know, it was early and people were taking stuff and I just kept letting one more person in and they would like fill up a truck. And next thing you know, the place is empty. It's 11 o'clock in the morning and people are coming in going, what the fuck? I thought this was at 12. I thought I came early. Gone. And like, as we're emptying, people they're taking anything. It's like, can I take this pen?
The fire extinguisher. Yeah.
Bro ran out with a fire extinguisher. I'm not even kidding.
I know. Yeah.
Somebody stole my dollies. I was so pissed. I was like, yeah, you can borrow my dolly. And the guy just took the dolly with him. There was some people, just two ladies almost like got into it. I swear to God, I had to break up a fight.
Yeah.
And so this isn't the first time I've done something like this. Like I do this fairly regularly. Like way back in the day, I'd buy a bungalow and I'd put it like, if I was demoing it, before I demo it, I'd say anything you want is free. And people would take out windows and take off railings and take the fridge. I had these two Jewish guys freaking out. They were having like an auction in my kitchen for a fridge. Anyways, unbelievable. First of all, the reach that Facebook Marketplace has. But second of all, like the amount of people willing to just take anything for free. They're taking light bulbs they don't even need because they were free, right? It was.
They'll take half rolls of paper towel. They're like,
people were taking the toilet paper from the bathroom.
Are you guys going to use the rest of that paper towel? Right? I've done houses before, man. I've had the whole house get cleared out by people, and it's a zoo, and people start fighting, and they take stuff you tell them not to take, and it's absolute insanity. The greed that people have, and the things they take. It's like just because it's free, they just want to have it. So it's like they don't need it. It's not anything that's going to be worth any money, but it's just like, oh, that's free. You're going to give me that.
Yeah.
And there's people who stay on Facebook Marketplace and Place and Kijiji waiting for people like you to post or me to post.
Oh yeah.
And they're just like, I gotta go. Garage sale people. This is like the next level.
Oh my God. This is
next level garage sale people. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's funny.
But we
should do it more often. We should set up a few of these sometimes.
Oh my God. But the people
who
know, they know to show up early, right?
Okay, but Darryl, listen. Okay, we're launching a condo.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
We're trying to make sure that everybody in this condo fills out a worksheet. So what do? We post some ads. Free furniture.
Free furniture at the sales center. Yeah, you
right?
get a bunch of people who can't afford condos, but that's okay.
And but you get everybody who's in there, and they're going to be there's going to be a lineup outside the door.
It's gonna feel like a
And
frenzy.
they're going to look in the sales
right?
center, and they're going to see all this great furniture. They're saying, "I'm getting in there first,"
I'm getting
and
in
everybody's going to be lining up, talking about it. Did you see the ad? Did you see the ad? I heard we can't get in till 12. And so when the people come to buy the condos and see all these people outside, they're going to say, "Get your checkbook out."
Yeah.
Checkbook out.
Yeah. Are you here for the condos? What? Are you here for the condos? What is this guy
No,
talking
they don't talk
about,
to each
right?
other anymore.
No.
They don't talk to each other. When people
No,
do
they're
those type of
enemies.
things,
They're
they're enemies. They don't talk to each other. They keep secrets, you know? I
Yeah.
swear
Oh,
that's
yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
So there's this one lady, okay? She comes in, this little Chinese lady. She comes in on a bike, okay? At 10 in the morning. She's like near the front of the line on a bike. And she comes in and she starts just like grabbing anything and like putting it in a corner. Like it's hers now, right? And she's just like hoarding anything. She's got like fluorescent light bulbs and like some tables and a chair. And she's having to fight people. And I'm like, do you have a truck here? Because like that's part of the deal is like you got to have a truck, like at least
Yeah.
on the way.
No truck.
She's like, yeah, it's
Uber.
on the way. No, she's like, yeah, it's on the way. And then every time I would leave, she'd talk to somebody else. Can I fit this in your truck? I live around the corner. Can you take my stuff there? I'll pay you, and then I'll come back here and get my bike.
Yeah.
And then I'll go back to her and I'll go, like, is your truck almost here? It's like half an hour later. Your truck almost here? Yeah. And then she'll go off and she'll ask everybody. So finally,
You got to kick her out.
I was about to kick her out because
So
everybody
enough.
was like, how long is she getting to keep that? Like, I wouldn't mind having that chair, you know?
Yeah.
And then there was another lady who did the same thing. They ended up teaming up and sharing a U-Haul. But two of them were fighting off people for 3 hours who were trying to take their sofa or trying to take the, and they're like holding people off. My husband's getting the U-Haul. My husband will be here in 5 minutes. This one woman, I never seen a woman carry so much weight in my life. She's carrying credenzas on her own. Can't wait for my fucking husband. I can't wait for my fucking husband.
It's intense. It's intense.
It was fun.
And that so remember like during COVID times, right? With the toilet paper and, whatever else people were stacking up on and loading up on. It's like these people just have this sense of greed and they don't really, they turn into somebody else. They're good people, but it's just the sense of like the fear of missing out turns them into bad people. And that's what happens when people start buying houses like crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
It's the same mentality.
The fact that that house could be bought by somebody else. Somebody else could get that property and I won't have it makes me want it more. Yeah. So I saw the furniture that you had left, Darryl, and it was crap.
It was crap.
It was the furniture that nobody wanted.
Yeah.
It was not sellable.
No.
It wasn't even freeable.
Yeah.
And so why people were fighting over it was because it was free and they saw other people want it.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
No, 100%.
We did it. We did a social experiment here. And those people just highlighted the fact that it's not really about is it a good product or not. And so we talked about Jordan with this one time because I'm going to try to relate this to real estate because not everybody wants to hear about furniture. No. But when Jordan talked to us about the worksheets and how they were getting 1,500 worksheets on a site and everything else like that, it had nothing to do with what was being sold. It was anywhere that was busy became busier just because it was busy. It was an idea. And that the really good deals and the places that actually made sense where it was good value and everything else, but wasn't that busy, nobody was going to.
Yeah.
It's just like, makes no sense.
No, I just wrote a Substack about that a couple days ago about like how platinum agents, like that whole craziness is done. It's gone. Like, where are the platinum agents? But like just that whole frenzy that was created. And you're right. It's like, what was everybody so excited about? Like 450 square foot condos for $1,600 or $1,200 a square foot with no parking, no lockers, no view of anything. People didn't even know where the goddamn site was. They like paid some other guy to line up for them. Like, do you remember seeing lineups down Bloor Street? People lining up the night before, condos selling out literally the day of the launch. I remember, like I wrote about this because I remember so vividly. We had this project downtown near U of T, and we launched it Saturday like morning, and like we were just raising the prices all day, and then it was like 3 o'clock. We're sold out already. It was crazy. But all the day, you're just raising the prices because it was like, there's a fucking lineup outside. They're crazy. They're all going crazy. People are like offering, like bribes to like secure spots. And it's like, I remember just sitting there going, what the fuck is going on here? It's like a craziness, right? It's a craziness.
I heard positive news out of the condo market today.
What?
Positive news came out of the condo catastrophe.
How is that even possible?
I met a guy this morning to look at his father's building, and he's a lawyer. And so after we were done, nice guy, seems like everything he told me was true, but he was able to get out of a few condo purchases that were purchased from 2020 or 2021.
Got out of them?
Yeah.
How?
It was a technicality in the contract. I mean, he explained it to me. It didn't really make a lot of sense, but like I said, he's a lawyer. I believe him. Mm-hmm. He got his deposit back, and a few other friends and family members and clients got their deposit back.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So
that's the opposite.
Hey, that's
of
the
what
first time. I know, but that's the first time I've heard that. Right?
Wow,
It's like these contracts are all super, super airtight.
What does that
and obviously there was some contract, and I won't say who the builder is, but let's just say it was an American company that is not in real estate who was involved.
Oh shit! So
they may not. Right. And so they found out, the lawyer found out how to be able to get out of that contract and was actually able to be able to get his deposit back. And they were actually trying to get him to sign something that says you won't represent any of the other buyers of our building because he knew the way out of the contract.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, geez. Yeah. Smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
He sounded like a superhero in the story. And so, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you got to be like, is this whole story like is this like exactly what happened? But like, it's positive news, guys. Come on.
I don't know.
Everything is just negative out
I'm
there.
sorry.
Positive.
That's the exact like the story. I can't even talk about it because the guy who told me, well, I respect.
Said, don't talk about it on the podcast.
Don't talk about it on the podcast. But like,
and here you are.
No,
don't tell Darryl nothing.
No, I'm not going to.
You are. You've already said enough. You've said too much.
No. But it's
you said too much.
It's not good. Like it's like It's like
somebody you respect has got a condo situation. That's not good. You said too much.
No. That's not it at all. That's not it at all.
Sounds exactly what it is.
A lawyer I know is telling.
Now he's a lawyer.
Told me of a couple of things going on out there that are just really not great. And
Mark Morris.
Not Mark Morris. What do you think? He's the only lawyer I know? God
Mark Morris. What did he tell you?
No, it wasn't Mark Morris.
Betraying his trust.
And it wasn't. It definitely wasn't Mark Morris. But it's crazy some of the stories that are going on in the real estate market right now. It is absolutely crazy. And even just the shit I was dealing with all week, which quite honestly, I shouldn't talk about right here either. Oh my God, somebody just gave us $5, TK, and I think they're asking us a question in French. Hold on.
Do they want us to take off our clothes? Like, what do we do?
Think so. I'm pretty sure it's $5 to keep our clothes on. Question: what is the breaking point? Interest rate that would cause mass defaults, in your opinion? And do you think we'll get there and when? What?
You know what? Whoever you are, the fact that you sent $5, we are going to answer that question right now. What else do you want to know?
What do you want to hear?
A-L. So what's the breaking point interest rate that would cause mass defaults? I don't think the breaking point interest, you're going to laugh. It already happened.
It happened.
It was last year. It was 5.25% on the overnight. That was the breaking point.
I think so. I mean,
because we've already started to come back down on that rate. That's all we needed to do, and we actually haven't experienced yet the full weight of those interest rate hikes. We're still going through it because there's still a bunch of people. There's still 1 point something, maybe around 1 million mortgages now that are going to be renewed that are currently sitting somewhere around 2% on a 5-year fix. And that they're going to be renewing for 4.5, as of right now. And the increase to their payment is going to be anywhere from, 20+%, depending, because some of them won't be able to go back to A lenders, right? Some of them are going to have some issues requalifying because their situations changed. But even the best case scenarios is still going to be at least a 10-15% increase to their payment, right? They can restructure depending on if they go to variable, if they go to higher amortizations, all that kind of stuff. But you're talking about a significant amount of money that has still not come out of the economy yet. Well, so I think that first part of that question is it already happened.
Yeah.
And then do you think we'll get there?
Clearly. You have no idea what's going on
around
you.
We'll get there and when. So Darryl, when do you think we're going to get there?
We're there. We listen, we broke, okay? We broke. We've been crumbling apart, right, for a while. I feel, and I mean, I don't think it takes a genius to see this. I mean, Christ, have you seen how many listings there are out there? Like, it's fucking crazy. You know, it's one thing to hear 30,500 listings in the GTA. Like, that sounds like a big number, right? But when you look on when you look at it on a map, TK, and you look just like around where you are, it's like where I live in particular, like to have one or two anywhere near here was like not normal even, right? Then there were periods where there became a few more. Now I look at the map and it's like, there's no signs though for a lot of them, which is weird. It's like there's a lot of listings in my area, no signs, but so many open houses, so many open house signs, so many choices. And who the fuck wants to buy something right now?
There's some buyers right now, like it's a spring market. There's people who want to buy, they want to get into, you know, the new home before school. Like there's going to be some of that natural demand that we see. But I mean, it's not what it was before. Like it's not anywhere near the amount of activity on any listings. Like I've had a couple good listings this year that have had some serious activity.
How far before?
Priced well, all that kind of stuff. But we're not talking about an easy market for people to be able to get sold in. And so now when you're a seller and you're saying to yourself, hey, I want to go on the market. I want to, you know, move this property that I've got for whatever reason. You have to ask yourself, what if, right? What if I hang on to it for too long and it's going to sell for a lot less than what it's worth? I got these one clients. I don't want to say too much. I don't think they watched the show though, but they said no to the offer in January. They said no to the offer in January, and they were so high on their horse. They were just like, we are never going to ever sell for less than this.
This
no
is
way.
your client?
My client,
and
yeah.
so hold on, did you say to them, like, the first
Guys,
offer is the best offer?
I said it's the first week, and we've got an amazing offer. I can't believe this is happening to you guys. You're the luckiest people on the entire planet. And they were just like, we know what we're doing.
Oh, that's right. Hey,
right?
listen, you're old.
We know what we got, right? We know what we got. And so, but this is how drastic it's been. So every case is different. It's so hard. Like when we talk about average prices haven't like crashed since January, but the case by case analysis on each property. So this particular property, okay, would sell for $100,000 less than what the best offer we could get in January.
Would?
It's 100. That's the most it would get. 100 grand less if they were to sell it today.
Okay.
So they didn't like that number before. And so we have sort of like a little bit of a saying when we talk to our sellers about this type of stuff. And that's, I know right now you don't like this price, but 6 months from now, you're going to love this price. Yeah. You are going to think this is the best price you ever heard of. And guess what? It's not going to be there anymore. And that you have to be willing to have delayed gratification by, it's going to feel bad. It's going to feel like you sold for less than what you wanted to, but in 6 months from now, you'll be calling me up and thanking me. And I love them. Those calls I'm having with my clients who sold in 23, 24 that I had that conversation with. And at the time they didn't like me very much. Now when I'm calling them and talking to them, like, TK, come over, come and see me. Because they see like where the market's at and what happened. And more importantly, the money it's important, but it's more importantly is they moved on with their life. The thing that the reason they were selling for has now come to fruition, and they're actually enjoying themselves because people get caught up in emotion, just like the greedy people at the furniture store are caught up in emotion.
Sure.
They're taking furniture they don't even need. People hang on to properties longer than they should.
I came all the way from Markham. Why don't you have my sofa? I came all the way from Markham.
I got a guy who wants to put a condo on the market. He bought it like 21 or something like that, and he's gonna lose money. He says, I'm not losing money. I said, to keep the condo.
Right.
So I'm telling you right now, you're going to lose money. Like, I don't know what to say. And he says, well, I've got this and that. So he's got a ground floor terrace. I just listed another ground floor terrace last month. After 3 weeks, no showings, we took it off the market because they wanted a 50,000 premium over the other 2-bed, 2-baths. And they thought that the terrace and the ground floor was going to get it. And the market said, no one even wanted to look at it. So I'm telling him now with this like empirical data and some pretty, solid evidence that he's not going to get 2+10 pricing on a 2-bed, 2-bath just because he's got a terrace and a ground floor unit, right?
When do people listen? Honestly, like, is there any time in life where people actually listen? Like, do you ever listen? I know I rarely listen.
I got a job going on in my house right now. I got what's it called? Catch basin. And like the amount of work I'm doing at my house, my whole front lawn right now is an excavation pit. My whole front driveway, sorry.
Oh, no.
I got plumbing. I got a big concrete job. There's so much
Where's
stuff
the
going.
Lambo? Where are you parking the Lambo?
The Lambo, I can't afford the Lambo anymore because I
Oh
got to pay for this
no!
job.
Shit.
All right. Yeah. I was planning on buying it. I'm definitely never going to buy it now because
Oh,
this
we're
job
learning
is going to
about it.
bankrupt me.
Oh no!
And I'm telling you, it's like insane the amount of stuff that I need to, agree to. And I'm just like, okay, they call me. Hey, it's another $300 for this. Okay. It's another $150 for this. Okay. It's another. And I'm just like,
God damn
okay.
it! Yeah. What are
I
you gonna
trust
do?
them. They're the best company in the area. I called them specifically because I went to school with the kids. I know like this is like they're gonna be the most expensive, but they're gonna be the ones who actually do it right and fix whatever's going on down there. And it sucks, but yeah, I do listen. So I don't think I'm like perfect or anything like that. But I think some of my clients listen to me very well.
Sometimes.
Other clients don't. They're just like, no, I know better. The guy I did, man, the property I listed this morning, that guy's not gonna listen to me.
No, but like, what?
No.
Then you were talking a few weeks ago about the retired guy that didn't listen to you and knew what he had and waited and didn't give a fuck, and then he got what he wanted. But that was a couple
was that?
months ago. That was some retired.
Oh, that was
old
the guy in the
guy.
retirement home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
A
he wanted
retirement home guy.
950, and I was like, "There's 830 was the last sale," and he said 950. At least his kids told me because there was a power of attorney, but he got his 950. Good for him.
Who are all these crazy people listing right now? Like, what are we talking? Boomers cashing out? Are we talking still a bunch of people? Are they all in trouble? Like, is the only?
No, that's
No,
the problem.
they're not all in trouble?
No, they're not. The average person selling right now is not in trouble. There's a ton
Not
of people
in
who
trouble.
are. The problem is the people who want to cash out are the people who need to cash out for real reasons, retirement plan, all that kind of stuff. But they're greedy. The people they're competing with are desperate,
Desperate.
and they are going to sell for whatever price they can get. And they're not
fucking up the market.
They don't care that your retirement plan is like, I got one listing where, wow, this lady's taking a huge bath. She got screwed by her agent. She ended up buying a property where she should have never bought, overpaid a lot of money.
Yeah.
Tried to, list the property that she's supposed to sell was overpromised on the sale price of that. She goes to her private financing, causes hundreds of thousands of dollars of interest and fees to be able to, organize that. We end up selling that other property for the same price that she could have got a year earlier, but she had to pay all that interest and fees along the way.
Ugh.
Now we've got to sell the property that she bought, her dream home that she wanted to get in because,
Ugh.
those type of situations. And we got a power sale on the way. So we're fighting. We're fighting against the clock. What do you do?
I don't feel like there's that many people though that are getting crushed. Like you hear a story here and there, and you see like in I don't know, wherever the fuck, somewhere in Durham, somebody lost 350,000, and then you look at the deal and you go, well, of course they lost 350,000. Like, what the fuck are they doing spending 1.6 million in a Mount Albert on a fucking semi? You know what I mean? It's like, that was just dumb. And it's not even a new semi in Mount Albert. It's like an old semi in Mount Albert for 1.6. Like, of course you're losing your money, right? I don't see like these ones that are like just normal people getting caught in the bad cycle and, getting forced out of their house because of a higher interest rate payment. I don't see, I don't see everything, but like all I hear is these stories or, some foreign.
You think people are gonna publicize that?
I don't know. You see stuff publicized all over the place. People put crazy shit on Reddit. People post stuff all over the place.
But most people they go down in silence. They don't want to air their dirty laundry. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on at Harvard University? Like you must be getting the Twitter feed and all that. What's going on?
Well, didn't they do some kind of like foreign student ban? They said that you can't have a foreign student anymore, and so all kinds of like famous and rich people's kids are getting potentially booted out of the schools. That
a judge put a hold on it for now, but basically they're saying there's like protests and anti-Semitic and anti-government people coming out of Harvard, which makes sense.
Oh my, Harvard's crazy. It's a breeding ground for craziness because
they're
just
too smart, those kids.
Well, like if you want to go deep, TK, and you want to
that's why I'm asking you. This is under the table. Well, come on, I'm not.
A lot of these schools are known to have like secret organizations like Skull and Bones. You ever hear of Skull and Bones?
Of course.
All these Illuminati kind of organizations running the schools and, grooming people for being politicians or evil CIA agents, or I don't know what you become when you go to Harvard, but you end up being connected to people like Epstein, maybe Diddy, you know, some, well, I mean, if you start tying people to them like Obama and Clinton's and all these things happen in the background at schools like Harvard and Yale and Duke and all these really expensive schools. So, I mean, there's that problem. And then, you know, the schools are being taken over by foreign
27%,
right? Foreign students. So it's like, we can't afford this shit because all these motherfuckers are coming in here. Our school systems are failing. We've got all these things we need to, there's like, I think they're using one as a reason to flush out the other. Because like Harvard is richer than like some countries. They've got endowments bigger than countries. You know what I mean? They got power brimming from everywhere. It's like these things have to stop. And it seems like, at least on some level, that Trump is actually trying to eliminate all the shenanigans that have been going around in the background for years. But then you'll get the exact opposite argument to everything I just said. And then, you know, people will say everything I said is made up and horseshit. And quite honestly, I don't have a fucking clue what I'm talking about. I don't know if it's real.
It could be.
It sounds pretty real to me, right? Like,
it could be.
When I use my
you never
noodle,
know. It's a little bit of, you know, a little bit of rhetoric in there, but there's definitely going to be some truth in all the lies out there, right?
In all the lies. There's so many lies. It's so crazy. I don't even know how we got onto this. How did you bring up Harvard?
Because that's a real under the table thing going on right now, you know. So Canadian students are obviously upset.
Carney's kid is one of them at Harvard. I heard his boy, girl, she, him, thingy, bobber. Yeah. Not to be rude or anything, but that's fucked up.
That's fine.
That's a whole other story. They're banning that now too. They're like banning LGBTQ pride flags in the classrooms. It's like a war on crazy.
Yeah.
There should be a war on crazy. There's like, I'm okay with a certain level of crazy. I actually flourish in it and fit in quite nicely. But like, this is over the top, man. This world has gone absolutely bananas and upside down. Like,
I think the universities are definitely a big part of it, right?
Well, I mean, even the worst of the protests are all happening at universities. It's like they're very suggestible, and
they're just like, guys, you should do whatever you believe in. No, that's like, you know, why we have laws in place. If everyone could just do whatever they wanted, then, you know, people would be killing people and drinking and driving and stealing and all sorts of stuff. Like, no, there's a little bit of like conformity that you need to have in order to be a member of society. And so, yeah, I know you want to, like, you know, express yourself. Well, like, write a book, you know, write a song, release the song and talk about, you know, why. That's what they used to do in the 60s and 70s, you know?
Well, okay, fine.
Sure.
But
But it's all the university's fault. There's a lot of stuff there too.
I think they allow a lot by trying to be inclusive and fair to everybody, right? And this is the fucking thing. It's this stupid inclusivity bullshit, right? It's like, can you go to India and just start protesting in the streets about Jesus Christ and like whatever the fuck?
I don't know for sure, but there are countries where if you did that, they'll shoot you and put you in jail probably.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like you end up raped and killed and fucked up at the bottom of one of those disgusting shit ditches in India if you try anything like that.
That may or may not be a true story. And we
it's
understand the
not a
point of
true
your message
story.
is that
That's right.
here people just seem to be able to do whatever it is that they want to do.
Well, but this is what's starting to happen here. So when you said earlier, like, you know, that's why we have laws and people don't seem to really be abiding by all of the laws that we grew accustomed to and just took for granted. It seems like there's many people that think, well, who cares, right? Like all over the place with everything. Little things. But all these little fucking who cares have turned the city and the country into like, I don't even know what this place is anymore. I have no idea. What is the purpose? What is Canadian now? Like, if you think about, like, we've lost our personality, TK, because what I was trying to get at before is that we're the only place that just allows anybody to come here. We're so inclusive, then do whatever the fuck they want because we just want to be nice to everybody. Everybody's like, we need Sharia law. We need a fucking Burger King. We need a special menu. We need our own religions. And we have to pray in the middle of the streets. And it's like, where does it work like this? And why? Like, what police force in what country doesn't beat the fuck out of these people and get them out of the street? Right? Did you see the other day, even like they had to reroute an ambulance downtown because these motherfuckers are like, I don't know, doing some protest. I don't even know what the protest was for. It could be Palestine, could be Israel, could be LGBTQ, could be fuck
Ukraine?
Carney, could be Ukraine, could be Russia, could be fuck Trump. Like, it could be Go Pierre. Is there anybody still saying Go Pierre?
It's the same people in the parades, by the way.
Who's
in
Pierre?
The protests.
It's all the same fucking paid
The same,
actors.
the same people that are all just showing up like, hey, man, you're still wearing that Free Israel T-shirt you were wearing the last time, man. You better change that before someone sees you.
Yeah, what are you doing? You're supposed to. We're being paid to wear the pro-Palestine stuff
that's
today.
Free Palestine, man. That was yesterday's protest. Come on.
It's
what
crazy.
are you trying to do?
I've seen videos where you see the same person at different things.
Conspiracy videos.
Well, this is all I get. Is
let's go to the chat. Let's go to the chat. Let's see what we
chat's
got
been
here.
going crazy. People want to know if this is the show for tomorrow, TK. And this
is the show, guys. You're watching it before everybody else.
The unfortunate truth is that you are watching tomorrow's show today. You are a time traveler, you crazy people.
It's always been this way, guys. You should have free speech on universities. Crime is different from free speech.
What the fuck?
I mean,
who said that?
Felipe de Mata. We're not saying that you shouldn't have free speech, but like you should. Well, we're not saying you shouldn't have free speech. You should be able to say whatever you want.
Shut up.
But
what are you talking about?
You shouldn't be able to just like have this huge protest interrupting everybody's lives and making like this huge deal out of things that make no sense. And so there's limitations on how you can be affecting what other people do. And maybe that's not the definition of free speech, but universities should be at the very most, influencing their students to be like a more like reserved version of their free speech. Otherwise, we're coming out of this with less productive people. That's what it is.
Pussies. Big pussies.
There's tech kids that are coming out where they've got these amazing jobs. They're about to get wiped out because of AI.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like they don't have social skills. They've got all these degrees and they're super good at coding or whatever it is, engineering. And in about 5 years, when AI takes over everything, they're not going to have a job and they're going to be sitting there going like, what the heck did I just go through? I made all this money and I had all these great opportunities. I got completely replaced by AI. And I learned all this great stuff at university, and we're gonna have like this like culture of like really useless people.
And you know what? I watched a video this morning. I feel like this older guy. He must have been like in his 60s, and he's like, "Guys, I'm trying so fucking hard to find a job. I can't find a job anywhere. They won't hire me anywhere. I'm too old to be hired for anything. And everywhere I go." He goes, I go to Walmart and they're like, you don't have retail experience. And I go to work at like McDonald's and they're like, you've never worked in a restaurant before. And the guy's like, I owned $1 billion business a few years ago. And now, things have changed. Right. And I worked in radio for 30 years. It's like, no one will even give the guy a chance. And so you've got like, check this out. You've got all these older people. Right? We talked about this before, the 50-year-old guy that's working at a job that all of a sudden has become rendered useless for one reason or another, whether it's the economy or AI or some young guy who's willing to take less. You got like these older, unemployable people, right? That all think that they're worth way more than they can get anywhere because nobody fucking wants them. And then you've got all these young kids who can't get a fucking job anywhere either because who's hiring? I mean, if you're hiring, you have one job. You've got one job. You got to line up down the street of Indian people for miles right now, right?
I don't know. I'm not putting out any, help wanted ads, But
You see it.
I get what your point.
It's
I see the
crazy.
point.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
I see the point.
And what's happening is like more and more people are jumping into that pool of people that are looking desperately for jobs, right? Want money desperately. And while that job, so that's growing just because the real estate market is fucked and the construction market is fucked. So that's just dropping on its own, mixed with the AI.
But you saw the job numbers there, that 10,000 jobs were shed over the last year, including 6,000 at Canada Revenue Agency, public service.
From the government. Yeah, government jobs were shed. But meanwhile, every time they tell us about jobs, there's like 40,000 new government jobs. So how did that happen? Where's the math? How do we lose
shrunk for the
10,000?
first time since 2015, nearly 10,000 jobs over the last year. Data released by the Treasury Board Secretariat.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, of the 9,800 job cuts between 2004 and 2005, majority were in federal agencies such as Parks Canada, National Capital Commission, and the Canada Revenue Agency. I love to hear that. Isn't that nice? That CRA, there's less. You just don't believe it.
I don't believe it because when they announce it monthly, there's huge gains in jobs, right? And it's like the private sector's shedding jobs, and it's all the public sector making up for it. And we've talked about
sometimes those are like, for the election, they added jobs. Like, some of these jobs come and go, right? For seasonality stuff, right?
Yeah.
So when you look at it from a year basis, that took into account all the different seasons that came through. But 10,000 jobs isn't really that much when they have hundreds of thousands that they need to get more efficient on.
UBI will be a must, says Corporate Shill. And Corporate Shill is quite busy in the chat today. UBI will be a must. And
UBI makes a lot of sense if you ruin your economy and nobody's able to actually work a job.
So
right?
here.
But sure.
Yeah.
Like the trajectory that we're on. Yeah, absolutely. Like if unemployment rate gets to a certain point, they're going to have no choice but to start supporting everybody.
10%? Where are we? 10%?
Oh, you look at Canada national effort. So 6.9%, I think it is right now.
Who cares about all of Canada? It's like Ontario.
Well, it's the federal government who's going to care about that, and they're going to be the ones basing their decision on whether or not UBI makes sense or not. But there's a lot of arguments for it. Obviously, it would be like the worst thing that you could possibly do. It would be like, spoiling your kids, like just giving your kids every single thing that they ever asked for and never making them work hard for anything, never making them have to actually earn something or struggle. And you just be like, don't worry, I got you. You don't have to do nothing. That's horrible idea.
It's welfare. Yeah. Chris says it's welfare. Of course it's welfare. But but what the fuck do you do? Okay, we have this pool of people not working, growing, and this is the number that they're telling us, right? So forget about all these people that somehow are in the country, have nowhere to live, have no jobs. Are they on this list? Are all the people in the tents on this list? And really, like, how does this list even work? Because what if I have a Shopify store and I make 150 grand on doing that? Am I unemployed? And what if I'm collecting unemployment and I have a Shopify store? What if have you seen all these stories now of all these beggars in the streets that are not unemployed? Like it's like a whole scam going on. They're like dropped off in a minivan. They do their job for the day.
They've always had that. Yeah.
They pick them up in a minivan and they take them to their house,
To their house. And they're got like a mortgage to pay.
They're all getting like $6 grand a month from the government because they, have 4 kids or whatever the fucking.
Well, the refugees definitely. Yeah.
It's crazyville though.
Yeah. The refugees, I know it's high paying. I mean,
are they included in the unemployment stats? All these people that are making money all over the place, robbing people, stealing cars. I mean, people have jobs. They're just not so legit.
So if somebody's begging on the streets, it's like, listen, man, stop contributing to our unemployment numbers, man. Yeah. You got a job.
Yeah. Right? Stop it, you bastard.
Yeah. But that's whose fault that is though?
Trudeau.
No, it's our fault for giving the money.
Oh, what? Because you and me are... if you put me in that window, if I'm sitting in the window, it's like, no, fuck you. Look, you're wearing new Nikes. You don't need any money. Let me see your cell phone.
I guarantee you're giving $5 to somebody who looks like they need it. And you're contributing to the madness. Everyone, that guy's giving, I better give. Find a way to donate to charity. Find a way to, volunteer your time. Go down to the
a warehouse of furniture for free to needy people. I mean, to churches, TK. I know for a fact that some of that stuff is heading to a church. I feel good about that. Okay. The Jew
God
in
loves
me,
you because of that.
The Jew in me loves giving things to churches. I don't know what it is, but I love it. I love it.
It's about cross cultural collaboration.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. No problem.
There was lots of cultures there. I felt very nice. You know, people were very appreciative.
They were kissing your butt.
Not kissing my butt, but it was like people were even offering money today. And it was like, this isn't the point of today, right?
Yeah.
We just got to get it out. We saved a lot of money not paying that month of rent. So it's like everybody was doing us a favor. I had a guy, I don't know what the fuck this table was doing there. It was £1,000 and this guy took it today. You know how much that would have cost to get rid of if he didn't take it today?
What kind of table was it? Like a dining room table?
No, it's like a big metal. I don't know what it was doing there. It's like a work table from God knows what. My father-in-law would just buy shit. He'd like go into an antique store, buy it, and then use it for 3 weeks, and then sell in the store when he was done with it.
Yeah.
Can't
Hopefully
do that.
Make some money. Was he good at making money when that was going on?
What's that?
Was he good at buying it and then selling it for more after?
No, he just liked it, and like he had a place to like let it go. He didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
My father-in-law was very, like if he was done with his car, he didn't give a shit that it cost $30,000 to get out of the lease. He just wanted a new car.
Yeah.
He didn't care. He would just go. He's got closets full of clothes that have labels on them. Like it's a problem. It's a different. It's like a different problem, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. But he owning a furniture store, like having a shopping problem.
Yeah.
Like, this is kind of not good. He'd go to Asia and buy containers of shit, right?
Yeah.
Just to fill that void that can never be filled. Okay, let's see. Your opinion.
I love it.
If you were about to buy a home today, what lowball offer you think a seller would accept and not get offended? What percentage of the asking price OTK?
Oh, boy. What a question.
What a great question.
I think there's lots of
Felipe Damata.
Yeah, I think that, your agent should be doing the research for you. Your agent has the option to look at the history, the sales history, when they bought, how much they bought for, how long they've been on the market for. They have the ability to see, they can actually do a parcel register and see what kind of mortgages they've got, if they've got like multiple mortgages and stuff like that too. So you can get like a window into the person's situation to see if there might be some desperation in the eyes of the seller or not. I can tell you that the truth is, like, unless they're like really old, it's hard to predict, honestly. But there's a bunch of people who really don't need to sell. The people in their 60s and 70s, they bought it for so cheap, you'd think that they would be the best ones to deal with, but most times they aren't. Most times they're the ones who are like, no, market's going to go back up again. I've seen this before, and I'm going to hang on to it. Well, it's usually the people who are just like a little bit more educated on the market, or like, oh my God, they're kind of full of fear, and maybe they're younger, maybe they're 40s, 50s, and they're going, I don't want this to get any worse. I'm just going to cash out and move on.
It seems like Brett Longfield wants everyone to know that he thinks that the price, the strike price, or at least the beginning price, should be 50% of the asking price. To which most people think he's drunk, and Brett wants us to know that he's sober as fuck, TK.
Okay, listen, is there a scenario where that's going to play out? So I was looking at a property this morning that sold for $12 million, and the asking price was $14.8 million. So that guy went in there with $280,000 under asking and got the deal done. So, like, if it's overpriced by 50%, yeah,
that's not.
You're going to get it for half. No, I'm saying for his 50%.
Yeah, but
problem to
50% is like if they're asking $1 million, you go in at 500, right?
Okay, but if it's worth 500 and they're asking $1 million, you'll get it for 500.
Yes, TK. What is it worth? This is the whole problem.
Like, start wherever you want to start. Like, right. I mean, if the question is like, what will offend people? Well, it depends on their situation. There's definitely going to be somebody out there who will get offended, but I think it's very like little, but like not that many. Not that many people would not be willing. Get this
fucking offer out of my face.
They're not going to like the offer, but when you come back with
hold on, bring it back, Let's look at that.
To 60% of the asking price, they're going to deal with you because they don't have anybody else to deal with.
Yeah. Hold on a sec. Let me get that out of the garbage 1 sec.
Gone are the days where they're just going to blow you off and be like, don't ever come to my property again. I got somebody else. Because really, not many people have somebody else.
You get
That's
it.
the truth.
And the agent's
Darryl,
like,
right?
right? The agent's
Even
like,
deals.
I can work with this. I can work with this. Let me see if I can work
It's
with
not
this.
where they start. It's where they finish.
That's right.
Okay.
Forget
Let's see where
about-
we can get them up. I can get the agent said they got room. The agent
That's
said they
right.
got room.
Are you intimating at what I was dealing with, TK? Are you trying? Don't talk about that now because this is it's too fresh. And there's
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
What
no.
I didn't say anything. You said.
Oh, okay.
But
I thought
I'm
you
just
were-
saying. No, that was all you, man.
I
Because
thought-
I'm hush hush.
I have
all
to
right?
bring it back to me at some point. Okay, so
Yeah, I'm hush hush.
I don't know what
but
you're
there
talking
are
about.
there are people in certain circumstances where if you brought them any offer, they would then work from there. Because actually, there's a psychological problem that a seller has, which is lowering the price. They really do believe that if they lower the price, that somebody will offer them even less. So even though they're willing to take 50% of their asking price, for example, they're like, well, let's just wait for an offer to come in. And let's just see. And so sometimes you might be surprised. You bring them an offer, and all of a sudden the seller is like excited, and the agent's like, "I'll get you a sign back," and you can work with that. If I was your buyer agent and you were doing that in every property without properly analyzing it or looking
Yeah,
at
just 50 off everything.
all the things that we need to do, then I would be educating you on how to make better use of your time because it's not going to go anywhere. But
No.
if it was the right time and we saw what was going on and we were like, hey, this makes sense. It's way overpriced and we think this is a desperate situation. Only his clothes are in the closet. Hers are gone. Write up the offer. $500,000 on $1 million property. Let's go.
My AI agent will pepper the planet with 50% offers just to see who bites, right? Right? He's just
This is the worst
5
strategy.
minutes. Boom.
Listen, if people get it from American companies. So there's an investor right now calling me, and they call me on my listings, and then they have this AI bot. It's the worst AI bot. It's so obvious, and I'm like, oh my god, these people are annoying. And all of their offers are just like, so you guys are listed at 600. Well, I'm thinking somewhere around $400,000 is where this property is going to land. So if you want me to write up the offer, and then it sells over asking, and it's like nowhere near what they thought, and you're wasting your time in the GTA. You're wasting your time using American strategies on how to buy investment properties as a wholesaler or as a real estate investor. That's the truth. You might get some luck in some northern communities, but it's not like it is in the States where you're going to have that type of response from people.
What actually, I don't know what you said, but it made me wonder what's happening with pricing. Like I know there's a ton of listings, but and there's very little
I see downward
sales.
pressure. I see downward pressure still. Like I said, that one there that was dropped to $100,000 since January. Doesn't mean that all houses have dropped $100,000. No, it's just we got a really good offer in January that they didn't understand, and that the property's got challenges, and now because of the market conditions, they're going to lose $100,000 because of that decision they made.
But okay, so you said you see downwards pressure, but is the price going down? Like we've seen downward
pressure. That's what that means.
No, it doesn't. It means that there's
Yes,
pressure.
it does.
Okay.
It means there's more listings than coming on the market than there are buyers entering the market.
Okay.
And so the ratio becomes greater and greater and greater from
So
listed,
the
active
average
listed
price is going down?
sales. Yeah, that's what we're seeing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, average price though is not the right word to use because what happens if more expensive properties come on?
What is that other stat bullshit
We
thing?
can say months of inventory is climbing, or we can say sales to new
what's that
listing ratio is dropping.
No, what's the other average? It's not average. It's like that one they made up of the
HPI.
No.
Home price index.
No. It's the benchmark pricing.
Yeah, that's HPI benchmark rate.
Oh, HPI benchmark.
Yep.
That's a load of bullshit too. It's all bullshit.
It's
this
better.
Is the thing.
It's better than the average price. Yeah.
This is the thing. So Bailey was looking at something the other day, and she's like, they want to make an offer, and I said, oh, well, what's it worth? Right? It's like it doesn't matter what it's listed for. The buyer wants to pay blah 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 because of the asking price, and I was like, you got to figure out what it's worth. Right? It doesn't matter, right? And that's the craziest thing about a market where like this kind of market. It's like most markets, the price, right? You know what it's worth. Even if it's the stock market and it fluctuates every day, you know what it's worth at the moment, right? But in real estate, it's like who the
subjective.
Fuck? Yeah, it's so subjective and
it's subjective,
right? And it depends who's working on the deal, right? On both sides of the deal, who knows what is going on, like. Right? You could think you could think you're selling something and doing such a great job and not even have a clue what you're actually selling, right? And then some developer comes in, knows exactly what he's buying, and boom, you just sold it to somebody for half price. You didn't even know it. And you thought you were a superstar is the best thing, right? And the seller doesn't have a fucking clue if this is good, bad, or indifferent. They're happy, right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the developer sometimes gets to sit there going, oh, he's fucking crazy. How the fuck? What? If they only hired this agent, right? Like these poor sellers, these guys just got fucking hosed.
Yeah.
But they didn't because they're happy. And the agent didn't have a fucking clue what's going on.
He got his commission.
And this is like, how are people supposed to navigate through this, right?
Yeah.
It's one, okay, so if you know what you're doing, you figure out what it's worth and you don't pay more than that, right? You don't get all crazy and, but when you're buying your house and you walk in and things are right and the vibe is good and you're feeling it and somebody's baking cookies and it's like, we've been through this so many fucking times, right? Even all these people that came today for furniture, like they thought they were the one getting the sofa they wanted. And when they came, it was like, they were so devastated that it wasn't there. So like when you're spending $1.5 million or $1 million or 700,000, and it's like every time it's like, you were so fucking excited. This is the one, we're going to get this one, right? I feel good about
Not today.
Again, motherfucker, got to live with.
That's a skill set of the agent, though. The agent should be making sure that their clients are well taken care of. And I mean, I guess that just goes back to
how many can you do?
Well, that just goes back to, so everyone's going to talk about this. Sorry, I'm not in the chat about agents getting replaced by AI. It's like, well, you know what? Thank God the clients have these, huge emotional responses to all sorts of different situations and need somebody there to be able to talk them off the ledge because it's insanity. It is. The seller's insanity, the buyer's insanity. Like it's madness. And you need somebody who's actually dealt with people in that psychological state in order to be able to get them to, forget about something or to remember something or to move through something or to forgive somebody or whatever. Otherwise, nothing gets done. And that's why I will have a job. I might have parts of my job replaced by AI. There might be tools that we'll use that will involve AI, but I don't see a lot of things that I'm doing on a daily basis that are actual money-making tasks that AI is going to be replacing anytime soon. Well, that's my opinion.
It looks like the guys in the chat are onto something that may, combined with AI, replace even the best of you guys here. These guys are saying agents need to be sexy. That's the truth of it.
If you're not sexy, you got to get out of real estate.
Make agents strippers
and burger flippers again.
What does that even mean?
Why can't we do both?
Stripper prostitutes will tell you exactly how the economy is doing. So if we combine AI and sexy strippers as realtors, I think these guys are onto something. TKAI, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants a TKAI agent.
Well, first of all this. Can you sell your home without an agent? Yes. Go ahead. Like, I'm not here to say that we've cornered the market. Go ahead and use AI. Can you buy a home without an agent? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Don't use an agent. I'm not saying everybody needs an agent, therefore we're in business. I'm saying there are people who require their hands held in order to be able to do any type of transaction like this. It's a very large financial transaction, both on the buy and the sell side. So, there's a job for an agent in the future, no matter what.
Can you? Okay, so you got like
mark my words, May 24th, 2025.
In Asia, you got these guys who like buy condos because they want to get married, right? It's like part of the culture. I heard that like if you don't own a house, you're a piece of shit, right? So like
we have that here too, by the way, but it's in a different way.
Well, but like people are susceptible to things, right? They're like very programmable or suggestible. And so imagine when these, like, have you seen some of this AI stuff that's out there? Did you see the new thing that Google just dropped, this VO3, this new video thing?
What is it?
Oh my God, it's crazy. It's like, you just type in a sentence and it makes a whole fucking movie with voices and sounds and like the whole thing, like real crazy studio, unbelievable stuff. And then, of course, like with every technology, you've got like people doing crazy porn stuff with it. Because I think other than space technology, everything is invented for porn, right? So you got these crazy AI generation things. And obviously porn's going to be part of this. And you got robots coming. How are guys, okay, who are just dumb monkeys to begin with, going to pass up on the opportunity to buy homes? Just press a button, buy homes from this sexy, pornographic realtor who's telling you, hey, big boy, like, just press the button, right? These are the same guys buying Viagra pills that don't work and hair treatments that don't work because some lady on the internet told them to. Or like, you know, there's guys out there that are like buying Indian
I'm not
men.
saying that this won't. I'm just going to stop for a second there. I'm not saying that this won't happen or that there won't be people who are going to fall for that, but not the majority of people.
That's how you get. This is how you get the pre-construction market in Toronto going
Maybe
again,
a couple
right?
dummies would be doing that kind of stuff. But come on,
dummies,
that's not the replace agent strategy. Rely on everybody's desire for lust.
There's guys who
there's pretty girls. Listen, there are pretty girls in real estate who sell absolutely nothing. Okay.
Well, they sell something. Yeah.
No,
I don't know if it's real estate.
No, they don't sell any real estate or anything else. They try hard. They got to look. They got Instagram. They got whatever it is. They're not selling anything. There's guys too, good-looking guys with all these different things going for them, muscles, face, whatever, and they're not selling anything.
Not selling anything.
But that's not the. It's not the be-all, end-all.
No, but the point is, TK, is that there's guys who spend ridiculous amounts of money on OnlyFans and porn websites and God knows what. So if you just steer them in the right direction, you know, slowly making,
you know what I saw,
down payments every month, slowly making a down payment on the condo.
I know. This is
called. Hey guys, buy me a condo. Everybody just put $5 in, and next thing you know, she got a building.
Yeah.
And she's not even real.
I'm not saying sex doesn't sell. Okay. Sex is, if you want to start a business that makes money, make it involved with sex. You will make money. Start a swingers club or something. But there's a company called Arrived. Yeah. Okay. And it's like you can contribute money to buy rental properties. And so all you got to do is just like, you know, stick in your whatever it is, $100 up to $20,000, and now you're going to be owning a portfolio that actually gives you rental dividends. So why I'm saying this is like because it's just a click. It's just a click of a button. Boom! I own a part of a portfolio of rental properties, and they're paying me dividends. Huge Ponzi scheme, most likely. But if you had something like that for development, right?
They have that. Any
type of business, right? Where you're just basically telling people, hey, so it's just preying on what people want. Oh, I want to be a landlord. What do you own? I own real estate. How do you own real estate? Well, I put $200 in this company called Arrived, and they own a house in Florida, and they're sending me dividends every single month.
I own 10,000 doors. I own a fraction of 10,000 doors.
10,000 doors. We got a company. I own about 10,000 doors, something like that. I'm not really sure where the buildings are.
I'm not very involved, right?
We got people running that stuff.
Yeah, the day-to-day.
How many guys have told that story before?
Oh my God!
How many guys have told that story before? They invested $5,000 with like Equiton or something like that. Right. They're like, yeah, we got an apartment building. We just bought an apartment building. Yeah, it's like 4 cap.
I think we're closing in July.
120 units, something like that. Yeah.
It's a VTB word I heard.
Yeah. We got a sweet VTB deal on CMHC financing.
Yeah, sweet VTB.
Right. It's like at the we've talked about this before. It's like at the party where everybody's husband, all the wives, all their husbands are developers.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody's a developer. My husband, a builder or a developer.
Your husband.
He's a builder
just
or
a contractor.
How many houses does he build? It's like, well, he's built 2. We live in one of them.
That's right. Right.
Yeah.
And we're about to go bankrupt. Actually, yeah.
Not all of them are about to go bankrupt, but like, you know, they don't build that many houses for other people. They just build it for themselves, and then they're contractors. They take on work to go and build other people's houses or renovate other people's houses.
A lot of time when you build the house and you move into it, more often than not, it wasn't part of the plan. It's like to dodge some kind of like fees or taxes.
Carry on and HST.
Yeah. Or oops, shit, we better move into this thing because we're fucked.
Yeah. I got a client with 3 or 4 illegal builds, and they were talking about how to sell them. And that Terrion's on them. Terrion's like, we got you.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Been there, done that. That sucked.
And, yeah. But it's like, sell the properties. You know what I mean? Tell the buyers, disclose there's no Terrion. put up a big deposit, like a holdback of funds, put it in the lawyer's account, and say, look, if anything goes wrong with the houses over the next couple of years, here's the money. We'll make sure we fix it. Otherwise, you keep the money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then tell Terry on what houses.
It doesn't work like that.
Why not?
Because it's not how the rules work. You can't do it.
Why not? Carry-on can't prevent you from changing the title like that. If you get everyone to sign it off, you can have permitted encumbrances. You can sell the property. The buyer buys the property. There you go. He owns the house now. He was happy with it. We're good.
Fine.
Probably get some fines in there. Build that into the price.
Yeah, who gives
So
a
what?
shit?
You're not paying HST on it anyways.
Doesn't matter.
You're going to bankrupt the company. You're going to bankrupt the corporation afterwards anyways.
It's probably a smart move.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
You can do that legally here. Everybody can just fucking go bankrupt. Doesn't make a difference.
That's what
Nothing
people do.
happens.
This is the scheme of the money thing.
It's an exit
I had one guy who was
strategy.
doing that. Not one guy, but I had a group of guys who were doing some like, super illegal stuff, like just building whatever they want, no permits on certain things. Like it was just a total nightmare, absolute mess of a deal on one of them that we did that TRCA was involved. And then the neighbor, I don't know if I told this on the show before, but so like not, okay, the house was a bill, but we sold it to a guy where we put in a holdback. We got made sure that this guy, the buyer, was protected financially. So if anything was to go wrong, he would have the money to be able to fix anything that was there. Okay. And that never really, led to any major problems. But the neighbor, there was a driveway that was like on in between the houses. It wasn't even the neighbor's driveway. His property line was just really close to the side of this house. It was just a narrow driveway that you had to drive on in order to get to the back, but there was no fence. So they paved an extra couple feet. And so you had this big wide driveway to be able to drive all the way to the back, and it was no problem. You could park any car there, and it was great. And for years, no one ever had an issue because of what it was. Well, the guy who moved in was not like Italian or white or whatever this guy wanted. And this guy who drank a lot, I think his name was Tony, he only wanted Italian people. And he told me that too. He was like mentioning certain races and he was like, don't sell to these people. And I was just like, all right, Tony, like, good to see you.
Make sure you don't sell it to none of those fucking engines.
I'm telling you, that's pretty much how the conversations worked. And then the week after the people moved in, he went to them and said, hey, where are you from? And they didn't give him an answer that he liked. And he built a fence on this property line, which he had the right to do.
Yeah.
And it narrowed the gap in the house between the fence and the house to a point where like an SUV, I think the guy had an X5, couldn't drive back there anymore.
Oh, what a
And it was an
dick.
absolute
Horrible.
nightmare.
We just did a fence. And we had, what a nightmare. Like, fuck the fence situation. Okay. Like the fact that you have to split it with the neighbor, or like when the neighbor doesn't want a fence, it's a real fuck up. So we have a fence across our whole backyard. Okay. And last year it fell over. Okay. Nobody ever put it into concrete. So this thing just kind of was flimsy. And then last year a squirrel jumped on it and blew the whole thing to smithereens. And so we made plans with our neighbor to get a new fence. And she's like, oh, your price is too high. And talked to my guy. And then her guy came and said, oh, I can do it for this price, but you got to wait till next year. So we wait till next year. And my wife, I mean, you know my wife, every fucking day, it's like the fucking fence. We got to fix the fucking fence. The fence. So finally, we're like, okay, fuck it. We're just going to fix the fence. The neighbor's ignoring us for months, okay? We got to fix the fence. Darryl, we got to fix the fence. So finally, we're fixing the fence. And then the people say, after we wait a year for them, they go, oh, sorry, our lives have changed and we can't afford the fence now. Like, but by all means, go ahead and do it yourself, right? And we're like, how much are we talking here? It's like $1,800 for your side of the goddamn fence. The fucking fence is falling over. It's a disgrace, okay? You own a house, okay? You own a house in Toronto. It's worth a certain amount. You live in a certain area. Like, you should at least pay for a half of a fence when the fence falls over. Like, is this protocol or no? Am I reaching at all here? Is it unreasonable what I'm requesting? Especially when they agreed a year ago. But anyways, fuck it, TK. I said, fuck it. We're going ahead. You guys, I'm sorry. They said, thank you for being a good neighbor. is how they sent the message, right? Saying like, sorry, you know, like things have changed. By all means, go ahead. Thanks for understanding and being a good neighbor. And I was like,
Yeah.
you son of a fucking bitch.
Now you can't be mad at them.
Oh, fucking right I can. So I said, you know what? We're going to be good neighbors. You pay us whenever the hell you come into.
But you owe
money,
me $1,800.
But you owe me $1,800. And you know what they said?
No interest.
They said, well, our guy was going to be $14.84 our share. That's all we're paying.
Okay. Done.
Done, you dumb fucking bitch. Okay, you son of a fucking bitch. What a bunch of fucking assholes. Who does this? The other neighbors on the side were like, yeah, whatever. No problem. What do you?
Yeah.
We were
That's
like,
how I am.
Right? We're like, we got to cut down 2 of your trees in order for this to happen. They're like,
you saw the tree that I cut down. You think that was me?
Oh, yeah.
That was my neighbors telling me.
You didn't cut it down. What are you talking
I never had
about,
a tree in my
man?
backyard.
What are you talking about, man? This is live. We can't even edit that out. You're fucking done,
I don't
bro.
care.
You're cooked.
No, that tree was it was undersized and there was no
Dangerous.
permit required.
That was good.
It was undersized.
Remember when
But,
I was like holding it up so you and your family could get
No,
out
it was just
from
that tree. It
under
was just like this big. It was just. What was I gonna say? So right now this job on the front driveway that's all messed up is got like a retaining, like we did like a retaining wall between my neighbor's driveway and my driveway, and then there's like there's like a French drain and like there's like downspouts going into the French drain and stuff like that. So they want me to reroute the downspouts, and my neighbor's bill is gonna be $400 because like but most of it's my work, but he's got to pay $400. And I'm nervous to talk to him because he has never paid any money for anything we've ever done together.
You're supposed to arrange it before, not after.
Listen, I got to get it done. I found out what his cost is going to be afterwards, but there's never been a time in 11 years. Like I tried to do the fence. I tried to do, like, it was just like, no, there was never like, okay, TK, we will contribute our share. When I had to do like pavers and all that, I just did it over. I said, can I do it? He's like, sure, but we're not paying for anything. Okay, like I just did it.
See, you know what kind of guy I am?
I just want $400 this time. I hope I get the $400. If not, I got to pay for it.
We arranged for it, okay? And so our neighbor on the side, the guy gives us a quote to change the fence, like our backyard fence. But the neighbor that we're working with on that side has like a little bit more fence that goes past our yard. So when they're ripping everything out, they're like building these people this beautiful new fence and leaving like these 2 sections of the old fence. And I was like, you can't fucking do that. You can't ask your neighbor to redo the fence and then leave them like half of a fucking shitty fence. So what happens? I tell the guys, I don't know what the hell happened with the quote, but like, we can't leave it like this. Do it properly and I'll pay for it. And we didn't even go to the neighbors and ask them for any more money. We just did the right thing because obviously we fucked up on the quote. From their perspective, they're like thinking we're getting a new fence, right? Not like just the part that backs onto you. I think. Yeah. I don't know. I freaked out. I was like, if that was me, I would be so pissed if you just dug up my yard and fucking left me half of my shitty fence here. No?
Well, in most cases, that's how it would be, is if the neighbor behind me is asking me to change the fence, it's only where our property's abut that he's talking.
Really? Oh, man.
I would be smart enough to say, hey, I need to also change this small section. That's only my section. So therefore, I got to split it with that other neighbor.
I left it to my wife to get the quotes. Okay. Yeah. I think I would have caught that because I'm pretty astute, TK. I'm pretty good when it comes to making sure that the scope of work is what needs to be done. I've built a career on it, for God's sakes. My wife, not so much. And so I figured, you know what? This is definitely
great now, though.
Oh my God. And of course, I mean, it is so great. It is so beautiful and so new.
Whoever thought that looking at a fence would be attractive?
But do you think
that
it's
true,
like
a new fence?
Was it the magic fix for my wife? Like, did everything just all of a sudden become perfect? No. Because you know what? You got decisions to make with a goddamn fence. You don't think you have decisions to make with a fence, but you got decisions to make with a fence. Because TK, only one part can be even, right? Either the ground has to be level, so everything can be even, or this fence has to step to follow the grade, right?
Sure.
So if you pick that you want the top to be straight and flat, well, guess what the bottom fucking looks like, right?
Yeah.
Well, my wife's weird, TK, and she likes things always backwards. And instead of letting the guys like step the thing like a little bit here and there, I want it straight across the top. So what do we get? Fucking gaps at the bottom for all kinds of animals to dig under.
Yeah.
And it's like, you want it straight at the top. You can't have it flat at the top, flat at the bottom. Like nothing, this doesn't work.
Gotta buy a flat piece of land if you want that.
You got to buy a perfectly flat piece of land.
Yeah.
Or you got to just let the fucking fence guys do their fucking job and not mix everybody up and make people crazy. Because now what do I got to do? I got to bring in some new soil and build up the goddamn grade so that the dog doesn't escape. And TK, do I want the dog to not escape? No. This is beautiful.
It's good to keep the dog. I think the dog should stay.
No, we don't want the dog, TK. We want the dog flat in the middle of the road. Okay, this is the truth. This is the truth. And she, just
that's
won't
illegal.
do it.
To
let
that's
your
illegal.
dog die.
To wish ill will on your dog. Yeah, that's illegal.
Is that
dog.
illegal? It's
I
not
don't
my
know. It's gotta
dog.
be.
There has to be.
I was talking to our mutual friend, the lawyer, and he was telling me about some animal cruelty, and he says some
Which
stuff's
lawyer?
illegal here where it's not. Our mutual friend,
Which mutual friend that's a lawyer? We know lots of
criminal
lawyers.
defense lawyer.
Oh, that? See, I could have
Yeah.
been talking about him before, TK.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. What's going on with him?
People are hurting animals. I don't know.
Okay, right.
There's cruelty to animals out there going on. That in their country, maybe it's okay to just let your dog run outside and get hit by a car. But in Canada, you know what? We should protect our dogs. I think there'd be some negligence there.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. But listen, at the end of the day, it's not my dog. I've done.
It is your dog.
I've done my mitzvah. No, it's not. I didn't want the dog, TK. My daughter wanted the dog. You think she walks the dog 3 times a day? You think anybody here walks the dog 3 times a day? I walk the dog 3 times a day. It
makes it your dog.
I don't even like the goddamn thing. TK?
Under the Table podcast, guys.
Live edition on Saturday night.
First live of the Under the Table podcast.
What the
Saturday night.
Was it a success? I don't know.
Hey, if you guys haven't liked, commented, and subscribed, now's your chance.
Yeah, if you're new to the channel and you're wondering, what is this fucking channel all about? The name doesn't make any sense. They keep talking about real estate. What the fuck does Under the Table and real estate have to do with each other? Well, TK.
We'll never know.
Well, I'll tell you, that fence deal was not above the table, right?
Absolutely. That was as under and low as you can get.
How much of our economy is under the table, TK? Right?
Good question.
How much, honestly, think about it. How much of
all the Chinese restaurants, it's like, you're like, on the way out, I'm like, hey, well, like I'm going to pay with my credit card. And they're just like,
what? We're going to have to charge you more for that, you dumb
we're
fuck.
going to, you got to pay tax. And
Right?
if you pay cash, it's going to be 10% less. You know that, right?
Isn't it crazy?
I'm like,
how do they get away with this?
This is like
Everybody
my client.
knows
It's like a business expense here. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? I'm going to pay with after-tax dollars to give you cash when I can use my business credit card and write it off afterwards? 50%? Meals and entertainment? What are you talking about?
I don't understand.
You know?
But I don't understand. How does everybody know that you go to Chinese food, you pay cash, you don't pay tax, they give you a discount, except for the government? How come they don't understand that that's going on? Don't they eat Chinese food?
$350,000 of supplies,
Right.
paid $275,000 in salaries, and brought home $40,000 worth of income.
I don't
10 years in a row.
I don't understand it. It's all crazy.
They claim
right?
just enough. That's what they claim, just enough.
It's absolute insanity. But I mean,
All
listen,
restaurants are like that.
I was a general contractor back in the day, and I built, I don't know if I told this story. It's long enough that I can tell this story now. TK, the dude built the whole fucking house. I told you this before, right? Landscape guy. I mean, who takes more cash than the landscapers, for God's sakes, okay? These landscapers are the most under the table business probably on the planet. Anyways, this guy was building a custom home. And this guy's whole income is under the table. So I'm like meeting this guy underneath, like the gym parking lot was like an underground parking lot. Do you know the, what is it, Win Fitness at like Yonge and Elgin Mills? Anyways, there's like this underground parking lot. And it's like, this guy works weird hours. I'm meeting him at 2, 3 in the morning because it's the only fucking time I can get him and get him to give me money to pay people and like pay myself. And I'm not kidding. I should have bought one of those machines that counts the cash, because I go meet him and he'd hand me like these crazy stacks of cash, like hundreds of thousands in a shot because like we're building a house, a custom house, literally all cash. Okay. Like how much cash is there flying around this economy that isn't accounted for, that people don't pay taxes on, that like people are getting unemployment on top of, right?
There's a scam right now with in the Chinese community where they want to send money back home. So you bring cash, which is normal. Like you want to send money back home to your family. You're working a cash job here. You're working at the restaurant. You know, you've got your money. You want to be able to send it home. You worked hard for that, you know, $5,000, whatever it is, right? It's a lot of money to them, right?
A lot of money.
And they want to send it back home. And so they have these like exchange rates where they say, okay, you'll be deposited into your bank account because sending money to China is like impossible. There is no like bank to do it.
WeChat,
it's either Western Union or you do it through like WeChat, or you have like a corrupt way of doing it, right? Yeah. And so people would say, yeah, give me the cash. They take the cash, and then the money would get put into your Chinese account. They go, okay, thank you very much. Here's the cash. I see the money in my account. A couple of days later, the money disappears.
Yeah.
They found a way to be able to like reverse it, send fake money.
Really?
And so now a bunch of people are getting scammed because of that, right?
Fake
They're taking
money?
advantage of like, you know, vulnerable people here, like hardworking immigrants with like no paperwork and stuff. They can't go to the police.
Yeah.
Right?
If you're willing to do illegal shit, it is so fucking easy to make money and scam people right now. Like, God, I wish I was like willing and able to just, you see these young guys that are on YouTube commercials or TikTok and they're like, I just made $10,000 today selling this blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. If you just send me $100 right now.
And I don't even know what I'm talking about in the video, but I'm really good at making these ads. And when you click here, I'll show you how to do it too. Meanwhile, they didn't do anything, but because you think they did, you actually went and bought their course.
But who's looking at this guy going, this guy looks like he's got experience. I need what this guy is selling.
There's a couple realtor guys. That's so funny. But you know what it is? You're good at making social media marketing. Social media marketing, that's it. I don't know what they're selling. I was on a Tony Robbins thing last week. It was free. So I was like, okay. So it was a 3-day event.
Was he
and
there?
I'm in there. Yeah, it's online. Online. Well, I said I went. Sorry, it's an online one. So I'm doing it all. I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? Like I'm on like 1.5 times speed. I'm watching it through and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, yeah, there's good contact. Matthew McConaughey, like all this kind of stuff. And in the end, it was just like to buy their course, right?
Sure.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Coaching programs and stuff like that too.
I saw Tony Robbins.
I got nothing
live.
out of this.
Tony Robbins live was fucking crazy. I went to the craziest thing ever back in, oh my God, I want to say 2005, 2006. My wife, I was going bananas. Hold on. I turned 30. So that means, 2006. So I was going a little crazy. I turned 30 and my wife sent me to, or me and my wife actually went as a surprise to San Francisco to go see Donald Trump. He did the first time he ever did like a paid like event like that, a big speech like that. They sold the place out because of Trump. Like they had to, people were watching live next door in like an arena. It was him. It was Robert Kiyosaki. It was Tony Robbins. It was like this whole group of like self-help and business gurus. It was crazy. But Tony Robbins live, it's like, he gets you all psyched up. He's like, stand up and start clapping your hands and everybody start like getting happy and look at the person beside you and say hi, and everybody goes hi and everybody's going crazy, and he's like, turn the other way and say I love you, and you go, I fucking love you, man, and everybody's going crazy, and you're like, you leave there and you're like, I can go make $1 billion right now. Let's go. Right?
I didn't feel that from the online one. That's for sure.
It was crazy. No, I remember.
I just wanted to buy their course. You know,
it was like the same. I did the, what was that thing called? Oh God. I always forget the name of it. Did I take you to that thing downtown?
Mastermind or,
what the fuck was it called? It was fucking insane.
It starts with an M. Starts with an N. Millennium, Mastermind.
It's no. Oh, it was crazy. But it was another one.
Landmine.
Landmark Forum.
Landmark.
Okay. Like if you're soul searching a little bit and you got some issues going on, okay? Or you need
go
a
check
boost.
out Landmark if you want to meet some people. People probably easy to scam. That's probably a
Oh,
great place to scam people,
oh
right?
my
Like
God.
for sure. They're all
Susceptible,
vulnerable. They're fresh out of
vulnerable.
like divorces and stuff like that.
They're
And they're
all
just
being
looking for
honest.
business ideas.
Can I tell you though, it's the craziest place. They do all
Yeah.
these things to psych you up and get you crazy, and you get in this frenzy. They do
Yeah.
some crazy shit. That was amazing. I left that thing. I'm not even kidding.
Anybody in the chat been to Landmark?
Yeah, anybody been to Landmark? I left that
Yeah.
place the last day. I brought like my partner, my parents, my friends, everybody to like bring them into this thing because it was so great, right? And I was like, my goal after the end of it was to go skydiving, right? And so I get up in front of everybody and I'm like, I'm gonna go skydiving. And my daughter goes, no, Dad's gonna fall and die from a plane.
Yeah.
The whole thing was the craziest thing, but they got me so psyched out. It's like psyched up and excited. Like I could do anything. I could fly out of a plane.
Yeah,
TK,
yeah.
you know me. I would never even I don't even want to go on a bus, let alone jump out of a plane for fuck's sakes. Okay. Can you
Yeah.
imagine? I'm afraid of everything. But this is how powerful these things can get. And it's the same thing like the FOMO in the real estate market. It's like, I was even going to say before when you were talking about FOMO in the real estate market, my father-in-law, when he had his store Decorium, like it was set up where the sales desk was in the middle and he would pump that thing full of people with tons of marketing. And you'd walk in there and go, shit, there's so many people standing, buying stuff in the middle that I must need something here. I got to have what all these people that are buying stuff has. And this was like strategic, brilliant. I never even realized it till years later how brilliant it was. But it was like people came in, saw people buying, thought they needed it too. And it's the same in real estate. It's the same in everything. And people are fucking crazy. How do we change it, right? How do we change the mentality to be like just a normal, healthy real estate market where there's like people aren't trying to profit off of real estate again, other than the people building the shit? Like, just leave the profits to me, everybody, for fuck's sakes. Why do you got to flip a house? Like, honestly, buy a house. Let me make a bunch of money off of it. You guys just live there.
I think that's where we're going. I think that's exactly the environment that we're heading into, is that people are going to see fortunes lost, life savings lost, retirement funds lost. We're going to see more, like the pre-construction condo catastrophe. That's going to be the very first part of this phase, right? Then you're going to see all the other people who are going to lose their homes as prices continue to fall. I had someone message me today.
Is that what's going to happen?
Look, prices are coming down, and that there's a ton of bad debt out there, and that people need to pay off that debt one way or another. You know, there's just not enough demand anymore. Think about it. I'm at an industrial building this morning where the prices have gone up since they bought in 2016, 450% on average, according to the Treb Commercial Report in Toronto West.
What?
And since 2016, industrial price per square foot, under 5,000 square foot buildings have gone up 450%.
Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense
That's
because they're all turning into retail.
But I'm just saying, it's insanity. That's not sustainable. So this is a mechanic shop. And the guy's looking at me like, hey, like, this is worth it. And da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, hold on a second. Who buys these buildings? Investors? Long-term investors? He goes, no, people buy the buildings because they want to run their business. I said, exactly. Tell me what mechanic can afford to spend $4 million on his building. What mechanic is changing tires that is going to have retained earnings in his corporation from his 20 years of mechanicking, and that he's going to then go and buy a big building because he thinks that that's the best way to use his funds, instead of paying just like 10 grand a month in rent or something like that. Yeah. You know? Yeah. For the same building.
Yeah. Like, where would that be that even makes any sense?
But that's what it is, though. Like, I'm not saying he's far off. Maybe it's less money, but that is so far from the fundamentals. It's so far from reality. And that's why we're going to see more industrial properties come on the market and those prices start to fall. It's the same thing in the housing market, except for instead of the business that's operating, it's the person's job. And so if the job is only making 100 grand a year and their household income's 160, why are they paying this much money for a property? It's just not sustainable. No, I'm building a case here. There's definitely a very strong case for a deflating market. That's just going to take a long time to get there, because there's always going to be that new sucker that comes in and says, oh, maybe it's the bottom. Oh, maybe it's the bottom. Oh, now's the time. No, now's the time. All right, finally now. So there'll be a little bit of propping up along the way, but we could have years of prices just continuing to fall slowly over the next few years.
So I spoke to the landlord that we rent the warehouse from for the furniture store is they're gigantic real estate family in the city, and I know one of them pretty well. And I was talking to him yesterday when he called me to tell me I got a week to get out before they, because they rented it to somebody else. And we were talking a bit, and I was asking, how are things, from his perspective, and he says it's fucking dead. Like, it is so fucking dead. You can't rent anything, right? And he's like, these guys came in and I was like, it didn't matter. I just had to take them because it's dead, right? He's like, if you're empty in industrial, you're fucking fucked right now because it's dead. He goes, who the hell's expanding in Canada right now, right? Like, who's looking for industrial space in Canada? What are you doing if you are? Like, what kind of illegal shit are you into if you're...
Well, you got lots of options. And so why are you going to buy a 1950s building with 14-foot clear ceilings?
Or rent.
Why are you going to buy an investment property where you're going to be looking at a 2% cap rate on an industrial building? It doesn't make any sense.
No, but even the rents are coming down in industrial because who the hell's renting a goddamn thing? Forget about even trying to sell the building. Trying to sell it must be a bloody disaster. I can't even imagine. But who's renting?
Premium buildings, good ceiling height, good locations, that kind of stuff. You're going to have businesses, like I said, with some retained earnings. Their accountants saying, hey, you can't do anything but buy real estate. They don't want to pay rent anymore. They want to own. They want stability. Yeah, there's businesses out there that'll continue to buy some properties.
But like the people that were going to take over or that leased the space we were in just a big warehouse space, nice big high ceilings. It's like a kid's play place. Somebody's starting one of those. Now, if there's something that is that recession proof or not recession proof?
No.
Because I used to spend a goddamn fortune on those goddamn places, and that's the first fucking cut,
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
That's not a recession proof business. That sounds like a 2-year plan of you going broke.
It's like, and like, it's literally a concrete floor and a tin ceiling, and they have to redo all the bathrooms. They got to redo the entire place for a kid's play place when everybody is like, are you kidding? Like, have 5 of your friends over and we're ordering a pizza. You can play video games and have a sleepover.
Those parties are the worst. It's like $500.
Oh my God. No, those play places were
3 hours, $500. By all the time to get all the food and everything like that.
Yeah.
I've seen those ones.
Loot bags. And I don't know. It's by the kid. So if your kid has 50 friends, you're fucked. Right. And then, the parents have to come.
Listen,
you got to
go
feed
to
the
the
parents.
school, bring your invitations. You get 6 invitations.
That's right.
Pick out your 6 best friends. Make a list.
Let them fight at recess.
The next day, make another list. And then make a 3rd list. And whatever the 6 kids who repeated on that list the most, they get invitations.
That's
Everyone else next year.
That's right.
Darryl?
TK? It's been an hour and a half. It's been a slice. Thank you very much. Apparently, I never shave.
The entertainment.
Is that true? Do I never shave?
No, you have that. What's it called?
I got that scruff, baby.
Yeah.
My wife
hates
it. You can't really
You don't
tell.
need to shave.
It looks much worse in person.
He doesn't need to shave.
Even my father-in-law saw me the other day. He goes, "You're looking kind of scruffy."
Yeah.
What does that mean? I'm trying to raise a bunch of money now. Should I be looking scruffy? I don't know. I tend to do the opposite of what should be done, TK.
That shirt's a little scruffy, but that's okay. It looks good. You got a nice collarbone.
I got a little bit too much cleavage showing. Hopefully, we got some new viewers that enjoyed that display.
Oh la la. Guys, thanks for joining us. Watch it again tomorrow. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next weekend.
Next weekend.
This shit is taking 5 years.